Okay, let's talk first of all about the Padres. They were hot. And of course, they had that phenomenal Friday night victory before the record 47,000 fans as they beat the Diamondbacks. Then they came back and they lost the last two. They were closing in on the Dodgers. The Dodgers are not giving up. They're not throwing any white flags up, even though their pitching staff is in tatters. The Padres still need a hot streak because coming up, they got a roadie right after the All-Star game. They got 9 on the road, and that includes at first place Cleveland, at first place Baltimore, and then the first place Dodgers. So the Padres, as we swing right after the All-Star break, it's going to be tough. Padres, let me update you on the Yu Darvish situation. He is on baseball's reserve list. He has left the Padres. He's gone back to Japan. He has not indicated, nor has his agent, nor is the club willing to indicate what's behind the decision of Yu Darvish to step away from baseball. They say it's not a physical issue. Obviously, it's not the groin. They say it's not the elbow. It's a personal situation. Personal situation could be a serious illness of a family member. It could be a death of a family member where players take extended leaves of absence to go home to help the family with funeral services. It could be a marital situation. They haven't detailed it. If Darvish comes back, and that's a huge question, but if Darvish comes back, I'm sure he will explain what has happened. But he's not ready to pitch if he were to come back this week. If he comes back next month, that's a different set of circumstances. While he's on the reserve list, he forfeits his salary. And there have been some insinuations in the UT that maybe he doesn't come back this season. Maybe this is a very severe situation that's back home in Japan. If he's on that reserve list the rest of the year, the Padres get $7 million of his salary back. So that $7 million goes into the bank account with the $8 million they still have left in their current budget. So they might have $15 million to play with at the baseball trading deadline. If Darvish does not come back, as the week progresses through the All-Star break, maybe we'll get a better reading there. The Musgrove situation, I mean, he is so far away from being able to throw in a bullpen session or to throw in a rehab start or to pitch in a major league game. The way this looks like, this is going to be mid-August. And we don't know if there's going to be any setbacks along the way because of the bone spur in the elbow. So that's not good at all. Then the third item in this equation is the disappearance of Dylan Cease and his ability to get through starts. His first 8 starts, he had a 2.19 ERA. And we thought, boy, Preller made a hell of a deal. His last 11 starts, his ERA is well over 5. And he's not winning any of them. And he's not competitive. And he's not getting past the 4th or 5th inning in virtually all these starts, plagued by home run balls, plagued by walks. There's a mystery. There's something not right with location, which to me is mechanical. Well, you got all this video on the pitcher. Why can't you solve this situation? And then the question is, they keep running Adam Mazur out there, the rookie, and the kid competes, but the kid always had a bad inning or two and winds up losing. His ERA is 7.52. You got Vasquez. You obviously got Michael King, who's more trustworthy than anybody else that's standing in the rotation right now. They've tried to get Johnny Brito up and running and extend him in El Paso, and he's getting lit. That's not a good situation. I don't know. They must not have confidence that Adrian Morion can be more than a 1 inning or an inning and a third relief pitcher. That's why they're not moving him into the starting rotation. So to me, it's almost mandatory now that A.J. Preller find a way to get a deal. And whether that's Cal Quantrill, who's now on the trade block in Colorado, or whether it's Zach Elfin, another former Padre, who is on the trade block in Tampa, whether it's the re-rental of Sean Manaea coming back from the New York Mets, AJ is going to have to find himself some type of starting pitcher, and then we get into the argument about the prospects. Who are you going to trade? And by the way, the prospects are not doing well. Robbie Snelling is 2-8 at AA. I mean, he's getting shelled. He's kind of hit a wall. Dylan Lasco, the young high school kid who came back from elbow surgery, he's 2-6 in Class A ball. The catcher, Ethan Salas, is still hitting 197. Leo DeVries up in Lake Elsinore is hitting 217. So their top 4 prospects have all fallen out of the top 100 in Major League Baseball. So, John, they got all kinds of problems, obviously highlighted by the concern about this Darvish family situation. So that's a quick take on the Padres. By the way, sidebar story, 5 Friars in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
How about the journey of Robert Suarez? Mexico, Japan, front end of the bullpen, the 11th man on the pitching staff. Now he's the closer. Now he's an All-Star. Has he progressed? What a great acquisition. Suarez goes to the All-Star game. How about the Rookie of the Year candidate, Jackson Merrill? I mean, he wasn't even counted on making the opening day roster until all of a sudden they had holes in center field. He was more shortstop than he was outfield, and he is not, the stage is not too big for him. I mean, it's absolutely stunning how somebody this young as a former #1 pick could do this. And of course, Luis Arraez gets to go to the All-Star game for the 3rd time in a row, and they join Profar having a career season, and then you add in Tatis, who I think should go and at least stand on the first base line in uniform and be saluted by all the fans. I mean, Fernando has earned this, even though he's out for an extended period of time. So I've emptied all the pages from my Padres notebook.
Audio problem here. I think we get it right here because we were on audio and then suddenly we went off. So let me just double check here to make sure everything is all right. Yeah, we're good now. I think we're good. I just want to make one more comment about the Padres.
All-Stars.
All-Stars. I mean, in March, we were saying who in the heck's going to play left field and center field?
Yeah.
We were huge questions in February and March. Profar signed kind of late, if I recall. And then we had no idea about Merrill. And to go from having huge questions to a few months later, having the whole outfield in the All-Star game, it's incredible.
Yeah, but I concur. And the Suarez story to me is so heartwarming, what he's made himself. And let's give credit to the front office. They cited and they scoped, they saw this guy and what he threw, and they figured we can configure certain things and make him a setup guy, and then he became a closer. I mean, that's a cool story.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was pitching buried in Mexico and went to Japan, and he was not a star in Japan. And they brought 3 pitchers over from Japan. And Luis Garcia was one, Nick Martinez was the second, and this guy was the third, and Suarez has become a closer and the National League closer right now.
But he's greatly earned that All-Star bid, but sometimes I wonder if players know that fastball's coming, and they're already revved up for the quick swing, because we've seen that a few times where he comes in, and we gave up a bomb on, when was that? That was the Friday night game.
Yeah, give him a 2-run homer and a grand slam home run.
Yeah, like boom, boom, and you're like, holy moly.
But that's a byproduct of Mike Schilt using him 3 straight nights.
Yeah, correct.
That's too much.
Correct.
And that's twice now he's gone 3 nights in a row and gotten lit on the 3rd night in each time. They need to be cautious with him because he's so valuable. Okay, let's